The Fantasy Football Show.
Hello everybody and welcome to Planet FPL, the world where everything revolves around Fantasy Premier League. My name's Suj.
My name is James.
My name's ManChild.
It is
Oh my
not
God.
ManChild in the house. Episode 500. And what the listeners don't know is this is the last ever Planet FPL episode.
Shut up, blood.
No, it's true, because if the three of us are on a pod at the same time, I've read on Twitter that the world will implode.
What
Armageddon,
we need to make
as soon as
clear,
we hit release, is Armageddon.
what we need to make clear is, if you've come to this podcast looking for Fantasy Premier League content, speak to you tomorrow or something, because there isn't going to be
not
any.
even, because it's a case of James is live streaming tomorrow. You need to go back 2 days to get to the main podcast that we put out, giving you a rundown of all the games and whatever's happening
Exactamundo.
and so on.
Today we're having a party and we've got ManChild with
500
us.
episodes, and we have to say in brackets approx, because it's more, but it's like officially what's been released on iTunes or whatever is 500 bits of audio.
Correct.
And there's other stuff in between. There's YouTube stuff that hasn't got audio.
Correct.
Live stream.
Patreon.
Patreon. Which is at least 5 a week. We've probably been doing that for about 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's plenty.
Yeah, we're about 600 actually. But yeah,
This is
500,
Planet FPL
500 officially, yes.
We put a tweet out 2 days ago. James put a tweet out on Planet FPL Pod asking for memories. I had to read through them. I nearly cried.
Bless you.
50% of it was crying with laughter, reminding myself of some of the dumb shit we've done. And 50% was like genuinely... what was more confusing than anything else was the fact that there are still so many people listening to the pod that we've never had any interaction with, because they may not have tweeted in before. So there was Twitter handles of people that I don't know, and then they're recalling their own stories. I'm like, wow, if you multiply that with people that can be bothered versus people that can't, there are probably even more people that do have so many stories and comments and stuff to tell.
Do we want to do questions or do we want to do stories first?
Stories first, questions
right.
second. Let's do stories first, questions second. Have you've read through all of them?
Yeah, at a glance, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what we'll do to start with, ManChild, you got to like say some words. Yeah, I know you're. Like,
I was actually trying to log into.
to let you on the fucking.
He's
pod.
trying to log in to do his team.
We will be getting an explanation of your team in this show, because it was one of the things that cropped up quite a bit. And you only made your team last week, let's be honest, so you should remember why you chose certain players.
He does.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do.
We still haven't got to the bottom of why he doesn't have a cock in his team.
I have no idea why there's no cock in his team, but he's going to tell us in a bit.
Yeah, so he will. Is there any one memory that you look back on that you got reminded of from the comments, James, that you thought, oh yeah,
that I'd forgotten about?
Or even, actually, yeah, that is a good one.
Some of the more early stuff, because it just blurs now, like even we spoke about 30 and 30, which was that 15 months ago, and it feels like
forever ago.
Yeah, it feels like 15 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like it was the end of season 1, but it was actually the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Really? Last year?
Yes, last summer was when we did 30 and 30.
Last June? Oh, that does feel like 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, a lot's happened in that time.
Nice.
I think, some of the older stuff, I'm like, wow, I don't even remember that particularly. But everything over the last year is pretty clear also.
Yeah. I saw, is there anything you saw, ManChild? Did you even bother reading the tweet? Have you ever even bothered being on Twitter? Actually, I know you did, because you replied to a few of the comments.
Yeah, and I
on
retweeted
there.
some.
Yeah,
Why are you just throwing shots at me from day one, man? God damn.
Because you deserve it.
Know your place. Go on. Is there anything that you saw that you thought, oh, actually, fine?
Actually, I just got a lot. I was so surprised. I'm always surprised so many people listen to the show. Like, in my head, I don't deal with the stats like you guys deal with the stats.
Never the way.
So
You got the wrong podcast. Go and speak to Tom and Nick.
No, they got funny accents. Oh, you know what? I remember more than anything else. Every time we've been cussed. Like, I remember saying, literally, the tweet yesterday. I know it's not the funnest thing to bring up, but they always make me giggle, because I'm like, okay, Like,
It's FPL. At the end of the day. We haven't got a podcast trying
We
to create
love
world
the haters.
peace.
We embrace the haters.
Yeah, there just aren't that many to even really think about or talk about. A few people mentioned the Leroy Sané video. I won't forget that. We were
Oh
just
my God.
that was pure. That was literally 2 hours turnaround from coming up with the idea to thinking what are we gonna do to starting out with just a picture of him to then it going on the wall to then thinking how we're gonna do this praying scene to the music.
oh
to
my
the,
god, no, the music when we added it in the final edit, and then I was just
Then-
it was just whacking on whatever
Yeah.
effects I could find.
But it literally was 2 hours start to finish, and I was like, wow, this is actually a ridiculous bit of content. If we had the time to be dossing around all day doing dumb stuff like that, we could smash out a lot more.
But I feel for the people that don't follow you on Twitter and then wonder why that is there.
Yeah. People won't understand. If you're on YouTube, you'll understand.
Oh,
There's a framed picture of Leroy Sané still in the corner of the office. And I've been thinking about, like, we need to take him out, shred him, like put him through the shred of the picture, and then
Whole
get
ritual.
a new one and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't found a replacement for him yet.
a lot of people's.
Yet.
I tell you what, the other thing that's my favorite that I remember, all the words that you make up, because you do
No,
that.
I don't.
You do
I
this in
don't.
real life
I
as
feel
well.
like Crapid. I don't feel like I made it up. Maybe I probably did, but I don't know.
Crapid happened by accident.
Yeah.
I think it was referenced to Adama Traore originally. I think so.
Yeah.
And we had to apologise several times last year because he's
He
just
turned it
rapid.
around. Fair
Exactly.
play.
But yeah, Crapid was something that you said by accident,
And
and
then
it
stuck.
just stuck.
The one I remember is we've done, obviously the live shows have been good. The first one was really good because it was the first one and
Yeah.
we didn't really know what to expect and how we were going to lay it out. The second one was good as well. We knew what we were going to expect, but quite different format because there was live matches happening whilst we were doing the show.
The second one was brutal for me because I was so fucking sick.
Yeah, you were unwell that day. But then I was thinking, like, Manchester was different. We were out of town. It was a road trip. But then someone said, watching you guys go live in the car driving to Manchester. And I was like, oh yeah, we did that.
Oh yeah.
And that was like,
That's
oh yeah,
hilarious.
we had
It
the
was one of the
phone
best
set
bits
up
of content we've ever
on the
put out.
screen with James sitting in the back, ManChild to the left, and me driving up the M1,
Yeah,
M6.
yeah. Oh
And-
my god.
Chatting whilst we're driving to Manchester.
What was really screwed, I wasn't there as much. I forgot the 24-hour stream existed
Yeah.
until people started bringing it up and all this. Because I was sitting there
That's because
watching.
you didn't fucking suffer through it.
I was here in spirit.
Yeah.
No, actually, remember I went home and then was on the PC from team viewing in, just playing around with stuff on the stream. I just completely forgot that existed. Like that, the setup for that in itself was just ridiculous. Because people can just see you two, not the absolute mess we created behind the camera, where it was just like 3 days of trying to figure out how to do a 24-hour
Oh,
stream.
the live stream. We were sitting there on the Friday night with the cameras connected to the audio recorder, connected to
I
the
was
computer. It was confusing. It was fun. We couldn't make
Because we had
certain
one
things work.
camera battery and they had to last for 24
we bought,
hours. We
more
bought
on
2
Amazon
more.
and stuff. It was funny. The live shows were particularly good. Should we look at some of the tweets of what people have chucked in?
Let's do that.
We have ManChild, aka ManChild the Producer, saying Finding Westwood was his highlight of 500 episodes. What the hell do you mean, Finding Westwood?
I think
Or just discovering that there was a player called Westwood?
I think just in general, my favorite thing is just I didn't like football before the show. It's not that I didn't like it. I just wouldn't
Yeah.
make an effort towards it. And now I have a reason. It's finding player
Before we
names.
started, he said to both of us, what position does a manager play?
yeah, true. But
Wow.
I know can't quite figure out. I can't quite figure out when his questions are real and when they're not.
No, there is that with you. You've got a certain
Yeah.
sense of humour, mate, where we don't know if you're ever serious or not.
No, but I didn't know where Thierry Henry. That was my favourite player back in. It's the only reason I support Arsenal to this day and support very
Oh my
loosely.
God, did he just say that out loud?
But you support Arsenal because of Thierry Henry. Get
Yeah,
in. It's good. It's fine to support Arsenal. They're doing well this season so far.
Ah, best.
They've won 2 games, one against my team.
Barcelona legend, mate.
Yeah. The other thing that cropped up quite a bit in the comments was, and I guess it's because it's recent, Antonio Gate, me telling everybody not to buy him. But then, to be fair, everybody that listens to us and does what we say deserves everything they get, in my opinion. Yeah,
It's so true.
It's like, don't come to us for FPL advice. Do what we say and then moan. It's your team, so tough. It's the same bastards that bought Suj James.
I didn't realise that it was that one comment was such a big deal until it happened.
Apparently so.
But then that's kind of the way we treat it. So on the Monday, in the immediate podcast afterwards, we cut it back into the intro of you saying it again, just to take the piss. Because like if you're following if you didn't buy Mikel Antonio because Suj said, I think he's tired, then you've really only got yourself to blame.
I mean, we were playing Norwich the next game, right? So who had conceded 1 million goals that season?
He also had a higher XG in one game than most players have in the season.
Yeah, that's true. But James, you don't get away with it either. Aaron Lager and a couple of other people referring to Matt Doherty as Gary Doherty for an entire podcast and realising it at the very end. I don't know if you called him Gary for the whole show.
Yeah. So
was it for the whole pod?
Yeah, it was when we did the FPL quiz.
Yeah.
And obviously we do quizzes on Patreon every Thursday now, which I think from some of these comments, like the patrons love that quiz, not because the quizzes are great, because they just want to hear some of Suj's ridiculous fucking answers.
Yeah.
But I spent this whole quiz calling him Gary Doherty, or it would have been at the time Gary Doherty.
Yeah.
And literally right at the end, something twigged in me and went, have I been calling him the wrong name the whole podcast? Yep, sure enough I had, yeah.
I only picked up on it right at the moment where we uncovered, hang on a second, it's Matt. When I said to you, it's Matt. I didn't hear you call him Gary in the rest of the show.
No,
interesting.
It just slipped about 10 times.
That was quite funny, yeah. FPL Tractor. I love the Chunky Chips, French fries, etc. chip strategy podcast. It combined FPL thinking with humour I associate with you guys, wanting to do well and not taking it too seriously. So the chip podcasts have always done particularly well, and I think it helps that you have a good analysis of it. Yesterday evening, sitting at home with the missus, I was like, have a look at this tweet. The amount of comments that we're getting are incredible. So she starts reading through the comments. She goes, oh, people quite like it when you talk about chips. Maybe you should do a podcast about pies or something.
Wow, that can go in a lot of directions.
I was pissing myself. And then she goes, why? What's so funny? I was like, I can't even bring myself to explain to you why what you just said is just
a lot of people started listening to us regularly off the back of that podcast. I think it was series 2 episode 38, I think, and a lot of people reference that as, oh, that was the first time I listened, and I've carried on listening since then. So apologies for that particular podcast.
This is where you came up with those names for it as well.
Chunky chips, curly fries, sweet potato fries.
All I remember is chunky
chips.
chips, and then all the other these fun names, and it just took off because it was just so funny. What are you doing?
It's what happens when we put a bit of effort into preparation.
Unlike this particular podcast.
Exactly. It's like if you put a bit of effort in and planning, then suddenly the content's like twice as good. Oh dear.
Don't start getting ideas because I don't like the planning.
I want to come back.
I like that. We're recording. Okay, yeah.
Here we go. We'll come back to to Ron Weasley in a second. Thinking about planned content, the one that makes me tickle a little bit, which is quite funny, but it's proper old now, was Bus or Bust.
Oh my God.
James's breast coming out to play.
You know what got me about
Shout out to Josh and Brandon. Every time we mention Bust Team, they earn 50p or something. Credit for that they catchphrase that we borrowed.
I still say that Bust makes more sense. I get it.
I don't remember your explanation.
So my explanation for the reason of being bust is if you go bust, like if you can't log in or something, then you're
if
bust.
Your phone's bust.
Exactly. If your phone's bust and you can't log in,
because the real one
busted,
is if you get hit by a bus.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's your bust team.
I would definitely rather that my phone was bust than I got hit by a bus.
But you know the best thing about that situation is on video you visibly describe to Suj the word bust like this.
Yeah. Squeezing his double D's or whatever they may be.
For anybody who's seen the YouTube video from that particular podcast, yes, I did grab my boobs and say bust, didn't it?
Bust, like bust.
Bust or bust. This is a comment made by a couple of people, and I'm sure it's been made by others, but obviously with 100 and something comments here, we didn't have the algorithm categorizing everything by thought. But Ron Weasley, Seeing you guys for the first time at the FPL meetup was a great laugh, as well as all of the others since. Planet FPL Live was brilliant too. And 3 Pint James is always a good sight. I can't agree with that. And our friend Axel as well, who said, and I'm going to scroll up to his, by far meeting me twice is his highlight. He wants to add you into the mix when COVID allows. But taking it broader, meeting people is it. Like Tom, Ron Weasley on Twitter was the first fan we ever met. And to this day, I still probably see him 2 or 3 times a month where I pick up beers off him. We're all supporting Beer Nuts now. Still a contributor on Patreon and all the rest of it. Axel, we met down the stadium before the game, had a drink or whatever.
You met a guy in Amsterdam.
Yeah, Karam.
Top boy.
His name's Karam, but because of his Twitter handle, I feel like calling him Kun Karam, but it's Kun Aguero. Karam, that was funky as well. That was when Heung-min Son got sent off against Bournemouth that day, I remember. And I was in Dan for a birthday. Like, the thing is, though, I'm comfortable meeting anybody who's part of the listenership for a pint and just having a chat. And I think a lot of people will relate to us or feel like they've got a couple of friends that they can sit and have a chat with or meet down the pub for a pint or whatever. I'm hoping that's how we come across, and I do feel like that is how we come across. But it's not. It's reality. Like, when we go to live shows, sit and chat to anybody, anytime. And I feel like everybody that listens to us is part of a community that I'd at any time sit down with and have a drink with and whatever else.
I just never know what to say because they ask me about stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like,
No, they don't want to know about your FPL team, trust me.
But I always say to people, look, my DMs are open, but the DMs for me are never open for some dickhead to send me a screenshot of his team and go,
no, exactly.
Yeah. My DMs are open, like, if you want to chat or you've got issues and to offer help. And I think definitely for us, the highlights have been going and meeting people.
Yeah.
Definitely. To actually think, oh, this is okay. And people tend to have the general feedback of like, oh, you're not up your arse or you're quite normal. Yeah, we are kind of what you see. There's no fucking frills to it or anything like that.
Yeah, like take Tom as an example. We probably met every other West Ham home game because they're season ticket holders as well. We'll meet for a pint. If you look at when we went up to Manchester, like meeting Sean in person, meeting Bradley in person, who are obviously our correspondents and what have you, you feel like you got a face to a name that's actually somebody that's on the end of the phone that I can have a chat with or whatever else. Not just that Dan, Loco all made their way down to London. Not that. I mean, all the correspondents.
The live show trifecta, Dan.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? I just feel like everybody is somebody that if I reach out to, they'll be like, yeah, sure, what's up? And as much as I'll help them, they'll help me. Agreed. Not with my FPL team, but just in life in general.
We gutted that we can't see a live show in sight, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah, honestly, genuinely, it is annoying. It is frustrating.
When we started Patreon, one of the things we discussed was obviously doing more live shows, and we kind of loosely had an idea of between 4 to 6 per year. And yeah, we just can't get to 2 this year at the moment.
It's fine because this is forever, right? Well, as long as we can possibly keep going, there will be a chance and an opportunity for us to come back and do the live shows for sure. Have you got your FPL team in front of you, ManChild?
Always.
Throughout the show, we're going to intertwine why you've picked certain players, and we're going to start with your goalkeepers. Tell me 2 goalkeepers. Who are your 2 goalkeepers?
Do you think he knows what the goalkeeper is?
Yeah. Two players at the back, innit?
Pope and Peacock. I don't know if Peacock's his full name, you know.
Well,
Peacock Farrell.
Peacock Farrell. We'll focus on the Peacock part because I picked Peacock because it's a fucking peacock.
So he has got a cock in his team.
Because it's a peacock.
Yeah.
No, he has actually got a cock in his team.
Imagine you had a peacock in goal, yeah, and every time you shot, it just went boom, and it did its thing. You'd never get a fucking shot in. So in theory, I'm like, if you've been named after something like that, you're at strong chance. And Pope. Well, actually, Pope is
a religious theme going through your team.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, you can't. I'm gonna win just on the basis that my selection's fucking biblical, mate. Like I got Pope, Adam and Eve, Abraham.
Yeah.
I was gonna get son because Abraham had to sacrifice his son, and then I realized I shouldn't get son because I had to sacrifice son.
He's
been
dead.
sacrificed.
He's probably dead. Yeah.
And then obviously, like as one of my strikers, I've got Jesus.
Yeah. I did notice that. I mean, we've jumped a little bit ahead, but I did notice that biblical theme: Pope, Jesus, and Abraham in your team. Okay, I like it. Did God help you last week? I think you did all right, actually.
Yeah, I got 57.
That's not bad.
Nice.
It's better than both of us.
It's basically better than any fucking content creator over the last game week.
We won't go there because everybody's doing particularly badly. Let me have a look at Pirlo's pen, FPL. He said that one of the highlights was us convincing him to keep Trent and Robbo for the majority of the season. At many points he wanted to sell them, and it was a key component to him finishing 141st last season. But he still hasn't sent us a stress ball or like a part of his winnings or something.
That's because he only came second in the Planet FPL mini league.
Ah, yeah. Didn't get on the pod, did you? Martin Jansen's spreadsheet.
These comments that me and Suj get are probably the most annoying ones for us. The ones of, oh, we helped someone do well with their rank. Because me and Suj are both shit at FPL.
Yeah.
Well, you fucking laugh at that.
Because I remember beating him last season for like so many weeks.
A day.
You.
Which is true. Wasn't he beating you at like Christmas or something? I think the year before.
Maybe the year before. I can't remember.
Year before was Kane or Lukaku. I remember that was a theme for like so many shows, and we hadn't.
At the start of the season.
Exactly. And it wasn't that season, because that season I didn't have a team.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, where did you finish? Because I finished higher than both of you last year, so let's end that conversation there.
Like, asterisk is an asterisk season.
Yeah.
But we never understand that people actually do well in FPL because they've taken our advice, because we obviously aren't very good at giving it to ourselves, basically. So that's always a little confusing for us. We don't tend to get the... I listen to you guys every week. I finished 3 million. Fuck you. But then we always say, like, we're not experts. Please don't take our advice. So it's a weird one when we get that.
Yeah. Something that cropped up a lot in a lot of the answers, people referenced the non-FPL pods that we do. People talked about Bury, Manchester City, and the financial fair play.
Was big.
Racism in football pops up quite a bit as well. When we talked about Bury and the financial crisis there, I just mentioned. I feel like they're the most enjoyable. No, they're not the most enjoyable. They are enjoyable, I suppose I should say.
We bring something completely different to the table, or especially you do, right? I mean,
Depending
particularly on the Bury and Man City pods, I could just sit back. I mean, I speak probably 60% on most of the pods. On that one, I speak about 6%. That's why it's so good, because you actually speak about something you know what you're talking about for a change.
Yeah, and I guess it's why it's enjoyable. But I do feel
you can laugh at that one.
Our content will evolve away from FPL. Not meaning we'll stop doing an FPL. We'll broaden to include more stuff.
We've already done that. Tottenham, Sky.
Well, yeah, Sky Fantasy Football is still a game-based thing. If you look at if you listen to the main podcast, as many people do, it's like, do you know what people should do? Is watch Match of the Day, and then they finish the highlights bit, switch off the bit where Alan Shearer and Jermaine Genius chat, and just listen to our snippet of the game for 5 minutes. Then go back to the next game, watch the highlights, ignore Alan Shearer and listen to our snippet. I feel like, why are you laughing, man?
I just think it's really fun to ignore this guy.
Yeah, ignore this guy. Yeah,
I don't even know who that is, but I'm just like, fuck him.
Well, one of them scored more goals for in the Premier League than anybody else. But I'm not hating on them. I'm not saying that they're bad, but I do feel from sometimes they miss the point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a conversation for later, but yeah, Match of the Day is very much, oh, look how he scored this goal.
Yeah.
Why did you do the Racism in Football podcast?
It kind of came off the back of there was an incident in Bulgaria where England players nearly walked off the pitch. It was very much...
We were doing a watch along that day.
Yeah,
with that match.
We were doing it live on YouTube. Yeah. So it was very much, and because we were on YouTube and we had the volume on really quiet, we didn't realise the scope of really kind of what was going on. We was having a beer at the time and stuff as well. And it obviously become apparent it was a very, very big deal. And we got to the point where we felt like we'd been in a position, because of things like Bury, to try and bring a little bit of attention to subjects that people perhaps feel uncomfortable talking about. So that was last October or November we did the Racing in Football pod, and I think it came out quite well. I did some honesty things about the Y word at Tottenham and stuff like that as well. It wasn't just about issues in Eastern Europe or specific targeting of black people. It was a generalisation of the issue within football, and obviously we're a year further forward and the issue feels worse at the moment, right? And it's something we're going to go back into again, unfortunately, because we need to, and it is something that we need to keep talking about. We got to the point after that game in Bulgaria, we were like, enough, it's time to speak about it now, basically.
Yeah, if you think about the timing of that was even pre George Floyd, and then the way that now
it's nearly a year ago now.
Yeah, we're kneeling before matches, what the players are and what have you, even the managers. And it's not like it's a couple more matches and it will stop. I mean, they were doing it in the lockdown period and it's just carried on. And I think it's one of those where we'll stop when racism stops.
Yeah.
Why not? And keep it going. It's very, very interesting. And yeah, that's why it came about. People asked for it. And I think now people feel comfortable saying, why don't you do a pod on this or why don't you do a pod on that? And that is opening it up to say to people, if there's something you want to talk about or you want us to talk about, we'll give it our take. I mean, it might not be right, it might not be wrong, but we'll do what we do in our opinion, and give our opinion on that kind of thing. I'm going to ask ManChild a question now. Who plays up front for Tottenham?
Oh, why are you doing this? I don't know.
What's James's son's name?
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. We've got here from Silent Bats.
It's not. My son's called Gareth now, man.
This is a question for later.
The wife doesn't know it, but
whoa. So, Silent Bat says one of their highlights is when I turned around and said, "Who's that up there, ManChild?" Sane. And who plays alongside Mo Salah at Liverpool? Show me that. Mane.
Sane.
Mane.
Oh my
so
god.
Why don't we
Sane
pronounce
and
it?
Mane was...
Why don't we pronounce it Kane?
You know what the worst thing about that was? I think I was in the room.
If we say Sane and Mane, why don't we say
Kane?
Were we filming at that time?
I think so.
Possibly, maybe.
If you ever go back and watch it, just the seriousness in your eyes of just
ManChild,
guys.
literally, how are you going to tell these guys where to find it?
Oh Lord,
we ain't got a clue. The only one I remember is Series 2, Episode 38, because people keep pointing it out to me. Otherwise, he's saying, oh, where was the Sane, Mane, Kane episode? I haven't got a clue. I couldn't even say if it was a year ago or 2 years ago.
I don't even remember it. I don't even remember it happening. ManChild, you got ManChild's about to get up and play with his camera, play with his little toy. Go on then. And in the meantime, I'm going to come back to him with something else that I want to do. Champman live streams is something we talk about. I think I still remember thinking, well, football might be coming back. What's a guessing game about a computer game that's all virtual in the world? And I don't think even the guys that created it knew how it would kick off. But then we were very quick, especially with Chris jumping on board with the graphics,
FPL
to
Captain
eventually
Hero.
create a product that has so many memories in it, and really helped people. Like, we talk about helping people, it helped people through lockdown, and it gave them something to look forward to. And you're thinking about hundreds of people jumping in on the stream and what have you. I think that ended up being
20,000, boss. Where's my payment?
Yeah, once.
See, I remember being just because remember we were in the office and you were talking about this is what's going like before Champman had even started. Should we do it? And I was just like,
I wanted to get fully on board.
Yeah, and I was openly against, and I ate that hat like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I don't think we realised how it was, but
not at all.
FPL Hitman, who was also one of the guests that popped up on the screen and the live stream zoom-ins, let's call it, has mentioned a few. Clean floor wipeout.
Oh my god! So I dropped a beer, and I mean I didn't just drop the fucking beer. To be honest, I think some of the guys thought on some of the things with the Champman that they were staged. Some of the things were staged, like the ending with Ness and Dormer and stuff like that, of course.
Yeah.
But this dropping of the beer, I mean, it really did go everywhere. I had to use about half a kitchen roll to clean this fucking beer. Unfortunately, it's on a hard floor. It wasn't on a carpet or something. So I'm screaming, and you can imagine what wifey's like while I'm shouting my head off at 9:30. Yeah, babes, and you got any kitchen roll? And she's like, what you done now, you bastard? so I'm cleaning up this floor while I'm trying to commentate on these virtual fucking games from 18 years ago inside a computer game. Which, that was a car crash moment. It was
Spurs
funny.
1-0? What's that about?
Well, Teddy scored in the last minute.
Oh, I remember that one.
Scenes as what it's called to the Champman.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
That was nice because it was a period where that was game week 15 of Champman. So it probably was still about May time or something, and none of us really knew what was happening when we were going back or if we were going back. And that was the first time during lockdown I probably missed football myself. I could visualise being on the away end at Arsenal and losing my shit and Yeah, it was nice.
Suj is in the chat. Sex,
in the
Polska, all of this kind of stuff.
Sex,
taking
Polska, yeah, all the bots, yeah.
Interesting, fun and games.
I used to love the comment sections because it was just like people just talking during the Champman streams. That was amazing.
They were fire, and the great thing about the Champman was as well, it was at a manageable level that I could cover off nearly all the comments and stuff as well, and get people feel like they were interacted and a part of it. And everybody knew if they slammed me in the chat, they were going to get ripped apart. Everybody knew there was no filter on it. Yeah. You were going to get abused, and everybody was cool about it.
We told people to fuck off during the live stream.
Yes.
I think that was one of Rob Pick's highlights.
Good evening, Rob Pick. Barnsley are definitely not Barcelona. Don't be confused.
ManChild, you need to see something, and this is from last Friday evening. So obviously, a certain Gareth signed for Spurs. And we were still in the office. What was it, 5:30 on Friday? Yeah. Everybody else had gone home. He doesn't know anything about who this guy is. I showed him this goal, right?
When I saw someone posted a picture of Gareth Bale, I thought they meant Christian Bale.
Oh my God.
So you saw this goal.
This. Look at this.
So we're talking about the Copa del Rey.
This is when Bale goes off the pitch.
Look at him. He's like, fuck off. He took the scenic route to that ball. Fuck off. And then he just goes, bleh, go, finish. Everyone go home. That's it. Match finish. Vendors home. Done. That's it. You've seen enough football for a day.
It's the goal in the Copa del Rey final against
just
Barcelona.
The way that this guy... You remember him laughing on the floor with Isaac's success.
Wait,
he laughed harder with this
That goal was not even in his top 5 best goals, by the way.
I know this guy showed me a couple of... He's filth. Like, if anyone's more favourite than Thierry Henry, it's Gareth Bale. I actually remember the name. Oh, god damn. Like, that goal is just... Whoo!
Yeah, I already said I'm going to change my son's name. Like, moving on, yeah?
Well, talking about your son, in the questions that we're going to look at later, but I'm going to just bring it up now whilst we're talking about children. Obviously, Harry, named after
how are you going to phrase it like that?
It's like, where is this going, eh?
Well, it's a good question.
Go on.
And shout out to whoever asked it because I don't know who you are because I haven't got the tweet up in front of me. Harry was named after Harry Kane. Okay.
No, not really.
Oh, fine. Because the question was, James, when's Heung-min going to be born?
I can't. Heung-min. Do you remember when we won at Arsenal in the cup? And I went home to the missus. I went, right, it's time to make the daughter. We're going to call it Alison because Ali and Son had scored at Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, Kane was born 9 months to the day after Kane was born. I called him Kane tonight. Harry was born 9 months to the day after Kane got the winner against Arsenal at Wembley.
Yeah.
So no, he wasn't named after Harry Kane. My dad's dad was called Harry. It was a name we both liked. To be honest, the reference would more be that Harry Hotspur formed Tottenham Hotspur. But yes, if Harry Kane breaks all of Tottenham's goal scoring records, then like me, he'll be named after Tottenham's record goal scorer because I was named after Jimmy Greaves. So yeah, I don't know what Harry will be calling his kid. It would probably be double barreled, I suppose.
A shout out to Chris Tellers who says getting to actually talk to you guys on Zoom during Planet FPL 24. That was pretty good. Not just talking to Chris, but talking to all the people that when they pop up on screen, we don't know who they are, and then we can have a chat.
The 24-hour stream was probably the best achievement.
Yeah, no
because
doubt.
We actually did something. You know, we raised money that's going to fucking help people. So, and I don't think we realised that I didn't realise that probably till the last few hours.
No, the 24-hour live stream we raised £6,000 for NHS.
It was completely separate.
Marathon was another different level of £2,500, but £1,000 that came from over 100 different people in the community for the marathon. This was completely separate, mate. This was nearly £6,000 for the NHS. Next level. Chris Tellers also says he loves it whenever I bring up Planet FPL live in Nairobi. And no joke, we're going to Africa, motherfuckers.
Oh, stop it. I can't even go to fucking Tottenham at the moment.
Not yet, but soon. Not yet, but soon. My mate opened the bar in Nairobi a little while ago and he's ready and waiting. We've got free beer on tap all day.
Tell him I said he's going to be fucking waiting a while, blood.
Yeah, he'll be waiting a while, but he'll be serving locals in the meantime. We've got free beer on tap.
Has he got a shut at 10 o'clock?
See, the worst thing is, I know Suj. And when he says stuff like this, initially I wouldn't take it seriously.
Yeah, I've learned
So I'm looking like, why am I? If you're watching on YouTube, why am I not laughing? Because I'm like, this fucking guy's gonna take me to Africa with my mics packed.
What's the barrier to stop us going to Nairobi? It's like £1,000 in flights.
Oh god.
Other than that, what? You get a visa on arrival, so we don't even need the visa.
Once you hang out with
I've got
Suj
family
outside,
that live there. We've got free accommodation. My mate owns a bar. We got free beer, free accommodation, free beer. We just got to get there.
The worst thing that happens.
My favourite thing about you outside football, you make the most complex problem sound so simple just by breaking it into steps. What we got to do, mate? We just got to get on a plane. Once we're on the plane, we got for fuck's sake, it's not that. Manchester was like that. What we got to do? We just got to find a venue, and then find a place to stay. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. The 24-hour stream came off of Champ Man, really, because Stephen White, who's a good friend of ours now as well.
Yeah, yeah.
He from Beer Nuts. He messaged me after one of the Champ Man streams and went, "Okay, now we talk to yourself for 2.5 hours. I reckon you could do a 24-hour show." And I was like, "Don't fucking dare me." 10 minutes later, my WhatsApp's pinging. Do you know what, James? That's a good idea.
Wait, listen, don't dare.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know what? In the second half of...
At that point, it's not even a shall we, it's what date.
On the second half of the Champ Man, I didn't tune into as many, and so to catch that one comment at that one time was the start of something big.
See, if you pitch Suj anything that you think he can't do, and there's a little guy in his head just going, "You're right then."
Yeah,
you're fucking on.
Yeah. Oh dear! Live stream to McDonald's. We did a little live stream to McDonald's.
We filmed it in the car live on Twitter. So a lot of the.
Can I point out this was the day you came back without McDonald's for me?
Okay, point it out.
This also caused some issues for me in the main office as well, but fuck them. None of them listen to this. It doesn't matter. So a lot of the new listeners are like, "Who's Big Tasty?" And this comes from Jamal Lascelles. So I'd been badgering on about he's got a run of fixtures, a double. He's going to get a double point haul. And I think he hit an 8, he hit a 9.
Yeah, he never made it.
He never quite made it. I stuck money on him. I think I stuck a tenner on him. There was a game they was playing on a Saturday. It was over Christmas time. And I stuck a 10 on him to score first and Newcastle to win 1-0. And it nearly happened. It was like 75-1 or something. And it was just, everything was so close. And then eventually he said, "Right, I'm going to go and buy you the McDonald's anyway." So we filmed us fucking going to get this McDonald's. Like it's the first time we've ever been to McDonald's. Hello, no. But yeah, it become quite an ongoing saga for a number of weeks. Even to the point that last year, I announced on the final plan on one Friday that I was going to buy him. Listened to it back afterwards and was like, "You dickhead, go and get John Lundstrom." And sure enough, Lascelles scored against Wolves on the Sunday. So it was like it never really died.
Oh dear. Can I just make one other point, ManChild, to you? James and I had McDonald's for lunch yesterday.
Oh, fuck both of you, man. Honestly.
And do you know who scored for Newcastle last night?
Lascelles.
Jamal Lascelles.
Big Tasty, the whole saga. There's a picture here on Twitter that someone's tagged and put in the whole
I know
Big
what a
Tasty
fucking
thing.
Big Tasty looks like, mate.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, someone's gone to the effort of
Show me a
Googling.
picture of this burger that he bought for me.
Someone's gone to the effort of Googling Big Tasty, finding an image, screenshotting it and bringing it in. Lovely. That's FPL Jasper. You get a shout out, mate. Let's have a look here. Quite a few others.
Did you see in the first tweet the screen cap of James just like with his vape in his hand?
What's that from?
Look, here, look.
Oh, that's from Scenes in Champ Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear, the chips and gravy or curry sauce debate is always one that pops up as well.
Oh yeah, we basically annoy everybody that's north of Watford Gap as soon as curry sauce or something like that comes
Gravy's
up.
alright, curry sauce is alright.
The other week I said about it getting dark at 3:00 up north, and everybody went mental.
Oh dear. ManChild,
It does.
tell us your 5 defenders in your FPL team, please.
5 defense. That's the top of the screen.
That's correct. That is correct.
Underneath Pope.
So before,
He's got 4 there. Now you've confused him because one of them's going to be on the bench probably, right?
well, no, it's Cash that's on the bench. So I started off by making a political statement saying White House low Cash because I thought that
So what? Ben White, Courtney House.
You're saying things I don't understand, mate.
Someone Low. Who's Low play for? Low being with an E on
Sheffield
the end.
United.
Okay.
Who's that?
What's his first name?
Max.
Max
Who
Lowe.
the fuck is Max Lowe?
Well, he's for Sheffield United. And
Yeah.
Matt Cash. So White House.
Low Cash.
Low Cash. Okay.
I had to switch one of them out for Van Dijk. I don't know why. I think I was listening to a pod the other day and you said something. I was like, yeah,
I'm
why
so
not?
scared. I'm
glad
literally so
You
scared
said
about where
you
this is
said,
going to
'cause
go.
He goes, I was listening to a pod the other day, and then he said, you said, I thought he was going to. I listened to a pod the other day, and Tom said, or Nick said, or like someone sensible said, good. At least you were listening to our pod. So you bought Van Dijk.
Yeah, and then you guys said get rid of Aubameyang, I think 2 pods ago. Something along the lines of.
No, because 2 main pods ago, that was stuff.
Not 2 main pods. It was.
And we do 10 pods a week. 2 podcasts ago this morning. You prat.
Exactly.
Oh,
I don't even know if Manchild knows what he listened to.
I think
he might have listened to last season's pods and still be thinking that they're relevant. So White House, low cash. Who's the 5th? Van Dijk. No.
Now it's so I've still got House, low, and cash. I got rid of White.
Oh, that's harsh.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, just because I wanted Van Dijk, because you said it, and then I was going to get rid of Aubameyang.
Fucking racist.
Well, that's just mean.
Okay.
And so, and also,
so you still haven't told us who your 5th defender is.
I don't have Oh yeah, this guy. He, as far as defending goes, he defends Dalot. So that's why I picked Dalot. Are you not getting this joke? Oh, fuck you both.
No, I don't know who it is.
Dalot.
Who's Dalot?
It's the guy who defends Dalot.
He means Diego Dallo.
Darlow.
Man United.
Diego Darlow. Okay. Now we understand.
Okay, so before I mess this one up, is this Klitsch?
Close enough.
Click.
It's better than
Click
Dalot.
at Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad. FPL Chancer Dan, here's one of his favourite memories. And he's one of the earlier listeners. Shout out to you, Dan. Which Premier League manager do you think would take the moodiest dump? It set him off thinking about it again. We ended up with Sean Dyche.
We did end up with Sean Dyche. Yeah, I think it would still be Sean Dyche with the curly finger and whatnot. So yeah, definitely a moody dump.
Yeah, he is, no doubt. Quite a lot of memories in there. Anything else that's come to mind?
I don't know. Bielsa actually is probably on the radar for that now. I'd say maybe moodiest dump.
At the time, did Maurizio Sarri get into the conversation in any way, shape, or form?
Maurizio, actually, no, I'm not going to say. I was going to say it's probably just liquid.
Because you know, there's a.
But what are you guys actually talking
Chelsea.
about? No, I'm
talking about pooing. Get over it.
Yeah. There was a question: which manager, Premier League manager, takes the moodiest dump? And there's a manager that used to manage Chelsea, Maurizio Sarri, who used to be like a 50-a-day smoker or whatever. Obviously, you can't smoke on the touchline. He used to chew fag butts that had been smoked whilst on the touchline. Just obviously, he's addicted.
You think I'd ever make a joke about a man like that on a podcast in a public platform? Fuck that! A man who chews fag butts.
Yeah, but he's obviously going to have a moody dump.
Don't worry, he could afford it.
He's going to have a moody dump, right?
I don't know. I reckon he'd have quite a peaceful one because he'd be smoking on.
No, I don't think so, mate. No.
No, I'm not getting dragged into a conversation about how people shit. But how does
Listen,
this even come
the
up?
more drugs you put in your system, the worse your shit is. In my opinion.
Oh.
I should know.
I'm like, explain to me how you figured that one out, James.
I used to drink Guinness for a year and a half, and anybody who's listening who's drunk Guinness knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, God.
Should we answer a few of the Twitter questions that we've had in as well? James put a tweet out asking for some questions that were not really necessarily particularly FPL related, but so shout out. First up goes our friend Marco at the Art of the Dive FPL podcast.
Here we go.
We're going to pause Pod Wars for now, and we're going to be friends and answer your question.
Is this the person you fired shots at?
This is who's
I haven't fired shots at Marco. He's a friend.
This is who's got.
But
the
I'm going to
biggest
fire
cup.
shots at him. And no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It says, who has a bigger aubergine? I think I know the answer, but I just want confirmation.
Oh, aubergine.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's what he's put in his question.
I don't eat a lot of fruits.
Is he
It's
vegan?
not me.
I don't know. No.
What's he asking about aubergines then?
I don't know. But I went to Tesco's to buy my lunch earlier, and I had the plan to buy an aubergine just so I could whip it out in the podcast. Knowing you guys wouldn't have an aubergine, and my aubergine would automatically be bigger than your aubergines. So by default, just the fact that I thought about buying
I knew this
aubergine
would end with Suj being like me.
is
I didn't
I
know
have
how
a
we would
bigger
get there. I
aubergine.
just knew we'd get there.
And what's even better is that I didn't even have to buy the aubergine, so I saved myself about £1 or £2.
His fucking
or
ego
whatever.
is not in check as usual, man.
No.
Child.
Oh, buddy.
What does he mean? Why does he use aubergines anyway?
No.
I knew that would get you.
Listen,
ManChild.
I'm 4 for 8. It definitely ain't me anyway.
Oh,
You don't know. Testosterone could have been used in other places, my friend.
to be honest, she told me it works. It's all that matters.
You know what? At some point, I'm going to put together all of the times you mock your wonderful wife. I've met her so many times. Wonderful lady.
Yes.
And James will just be like,
Yes.
fuck that bitch. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. God damn. How aren't you dead?
Yes. This is a question coming in from Morpheus.
That's how I know that your aubergine's probably the biggest, if I'm being honest with myself. Like...
No, you're right. You're right. I respect that logic. The fact that James can say what he says about his missus in her voice probably does mean that. Morpheus Fire.
You don't even front it. I go, I took the piss out of you today.
I've got it. Morpheus Fire says, how do the wives cope with knowing that you spend more time with each other than with them? I guess it's because it's the big aubergines mean that we get away with it. So in answer to Marco's question, we all have big aubergines, and that's that. Amber Redmond, what are your phobias? Clearly not mice, because they've been running around the studio. She says, "Are you scared of anything?"
Tottenham's the only thing that scares me. Heights, I can't deal with heights, mate.
You really can't deal with heights?
Oh, no, that's why I'm scared of doing that skywalk, genuinely. I will do it, but I will shit myself.
How high?
No. Let's do it together and take a camera up there. Come on, bro. Because if he's
as opposed to what?
If he's going up to the top of the Tottenham Stadium and shitting himself, I need that on camera. We need it on camera.
Yeah,
GoPros, whatever we need.
We'll
content coming at you soon. The Planet FPL boys do the skywalk. How much even is it? £20? They should give it to us for free, mate.
30 quid or something.
They should.
I don't want to do it till I can get back in the stadium. They even know how many
followers we have. They should give it to us for free. I'm going to email the Tottenham PR department. Are you scared of anything, ManChild?
Tottenham definitely don't give a fuck.
I don't like spiders. That's about it.
Yeah. See, things like spiders and mice and all this kind of stuff, I don't like, but I wouldn't say as far as I've got a phobia. Like if I put myself in the right mindset, I'll deal with it. You know, there are actually only 2 rational fears, according to psychologists: falling and loud noises. Loud noises because you can't anticipate them. So if someone makes a big
Who's
bang
scared of
you,
falling, bro?
But if you fell, like you're
when I'm doing
control.
that skywalk.
Exactly. So falling is a time that you're allowed to shit yourself. Anything else?
How can you be scared? You can only be scared of like.
No, whilst falling, you can be shitting yourself, scared. Any other fear is conditioned by society and whatever else. Apparently so.
But you're not really scared of falling there. You're scared of dying and hitting the floor.
Possibly, maybe.
As usual, expert advice on Planet FPL this week.
Don't be scared of falling. Once you're falling, you're falling. There's nothing you can do about it. It's all good.
Okay, I'm going to die. It's fine.
This is a good question, James. FPL hindsight. Do you ever find that sometimes you just cannot be asked recording? With the amount of content you provide, I wonder how you keep it up so well.
No, generally. There's a few times you think, I'm going to end up having
rare.
to repeat myself or something. But because essentially we do 10 different podcasts every week, right? So it should always be something fresh. There's always going to be some sort of overlap of something we said on another podcast, which we also don't mind, right? Because we know that 99% of you are not listening to 10 podcasts every week, right? So no, not particularly. I think if we did the same thing every day over and over, it would get boring. So
I definitely I think the only time I've seen you two get any kind of stress over recording, you know, we do a lot of like 30 and 30 will come, or that week we did 20 you guys did 20 episodes back to back, and just for the patrons and that kind of, like, definitely after those stints,
but a lot of that intensity is driven by it's more the stress around the production and getting it all out and live and the timetable, as opposed to once we're on the mic chatting with the correspondents and stuff. That's
the easy bit.
That's that's a lot of fun. It can be difficult when there are days where you wake up tired compared to other days. There are days that you've had particularly bad weeks,
you feel sick,
that you think, oh well. I think over time, and even like days where I know last week I told everybody not to buy Antonio and motherfuckers just scored 4 goals, you do think, oh, here we go again. But
we look at it and go, this is going to be brilliant.
Over time, I've gone beyond caring about that. And ultimately, you listen if you want to listen, you don't if you don't. But I do think there are days where you're more tired than others.
It was a pain in the ass. We had to set up the mics up each time. Now that this thing, you just sit down and talk.
With the studio?
No, when we were in your office.
Yeah, no, as in now we've got a bit more of a better setup. And I think it really glamorizes it, saying that we've got a studio. But
no, we have a table and 2 mics.
Yeah.
we have mics that we don't
and
take
a picture
down.
of Leroy Sané.
I should have mentioned that first.
Yes, you should have.
we've got a few questions here. This one's going to go out to you, ManChild, and me. And James, you can get involved in the conversation. I just know from your taste in music.
I'm allowed to talk, am I?
I know from your taste in music, you may not have an opinion on this, but you will on the next question. FPL Drew, who is the Athletic FPL, and we met him at the live show in Manchester, made his way over from Leeds. Says the top 3 UK rappers of all time. And I know ManChild, for those that don't know, ManChild's a sound engineer, music producer, as well as doing a bit of FPL on the side. And I listen to a bit UK rappers of all time. Like Dave, for me, has really elevated himself up there.
Dave. It's just called fucking Dave.
His name's just Dave.
Yeah, it's just Dave.
Listen,
he's Santan Dave.
Santan Dave, but he's got more talent in his little finger than us put together. Forget about it. He's 22 years old, 23 years old, tearing it up. He was. I didn't even realise he was Modi in Top Boy as well. I figured that the other day, and then you think he's an actor. I mean, he's incredible talent. Would you call Stormzy a rapper?
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if it's all time because he's so. Wait, what's the question? Is it specifically
top 3 UK rappers of all time?
UK rappers. I mean, you're really into your garage.
Speed garage.
Yeah, and so
Do
you must have
really
something.
like it? Is it wicked?
Right,
but
so
DJ Luck and MC Neat are not making it into the top UK rappers of all time.
Yeah, of
mate.
course.
Forget
so
about
for me,
it.
UK. I think Stormzy's definitely one.
Chipmunk,
absolutely. Oh my
Chipmunk's
god.
got to be up
You
there.
know what Chipmunk loves, don't you? On a serious.
Tell me.
Chick King.
Does he?
Hands down, 100%.
Yeah.
Chipmunk has like put on Instagram in the past about chicken.
Do you know what I want to be on? I want to be on chicken shop dates.
Oh yeah.
In Chick King specifically. And it ain't gonna be, I'm a married man or whatever. But what's her name? Amelia Hindenburg and something or other. Listen, hit me up. We got some followers, less than you, but we got some followers. You can take me on a chicken shop date to Chick King, so I can be on your YouTube channel.
Oh Lord.
Yes, but Chipmunk's got to be in there.
Is, you can
Let's say Dave Chipmunk. Come on, one more.
No, we got who? So
Dave
who we
and
got?
Chipmunk.
Oh, then it's just
Stormzy.
I guess. Well, I don't know because greatest of all, I really like Kano.
I love Kano myself, mate.
Kano's
In front of goal is never an issue, mate.
Oh god. Oh shit. Maybe I should get
Kano. Yeah, get Kano.
I'm getting Kano.
There we go. Jeff Holt, Dillygaff. And if anyone doesn't know what Dillygaff means, you swag that into YouTube. ManChild's laughing because he does now know Dillygaff. What are 3 of your favourite songs of all time?
Favourite songs?
Yeah.
Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspur. When the Spurs go marching in. Come you Spurs. Gareth Bale. He was born to play for Spurs.
Bro, you know how people will like hum tunes just randomly? Will you just hum random football chants?
Oh, that happens a lot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you listen to football
happens a
chants
lot.
more than this isn't even like cussing. Do you listen to football chants as music?
No. But sometimes I'm not so much now because no one's going to football. But yeah, I can have them moments where.
But like, do you get like fully hyped up listening to them?
You know what? True story. Before I was with my current girl, I went home. With,
She's your wife, for fuck's sake, man. Fuck's sake. Like, just. Come on,
Gal.
man.
He said gal. Go on. We're talking about rappers.
Before I was with my wife, I was with someone else who I was living with. And it was one of Rafa van der Vaart's first games for Spurs. And he scored twice against Villa. And I went home basically singing his name the whole way home.
Wow.
And when I got home, she was in the mood. And I wasn't. Because I'd been singing about Rafa van der Vaart for the last half hour. So do I hum shit to myself? Yeah, quite a lot. Harry's got a little taxi that he pushes around at the moment that makes a tune of like, nice one, Cyril. So all I hear is nice one, Sonny, nice one, son. Okay. Yeah, I'm on that all the time, mate. So favourite songs? Yeah, what about, let's say, Metallica, Nothing Else Matters, Faithless, Insomnia, isn't it?
Mm.
You like one thing that I love about you. You really don't match the taste of music that you have.
Oh no, my music is nothing like you two clowns.
Well, mine's quite. I would have said AC/DC, probably Back to Black or one of those. I'm AC/DC Greatest Hits, which is basically the Iron Man soundtrack, and it's got so many good tracks. Eminem, I think Lose Yourself's one of the greatest tracks. U2. I love a lot of U2 tracks. Some of them are timeless. So a lot of timeless stuff that's still really, really solid.
I think
now.
you're very music. I'm not a big music head, but most people are quite influenced by what they really liked in their late teens. I think probably.
So how is Spice Girls going for you?
Amazing, mate. I'm still waiting for Emma Bunton to call, to be honest.
Fair.
This one's going to be quite easy. Your favourite ever West Ham player for me and Spurs player for you, and why? I'm just going to put it out there that Is My Cat Playing Gary has
seen what you've done with
tweet.
it. Don't give him the compliment on the tweet by putting Tevez and Sheringham in there.
Report tweet. If I click on this little arrow next to his tweet, it says report tweet. Come on, Gary. Should I report it?
He could have just put one picture of Michael Carrick, to be fair, and done us both over.
Any
favourite ever player, Ledley King. Best player ever, Gareth Bale.
Favourite ever player is the question, so we don't care about Gareth Bale.
Ledley.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with Noble. Just because of longevity, one club guy. He's been there throughout my history of supporting West Ham and going to the stadium and what have you. So Mark Noble's going to be my favourite ever West Ham
Someone
player.
just said on an Audible podcast, Mark Noble is my favourite ever player.
Audible is an app that does audio books, James, just so you know.
Fuck.
I was wondering, I was like, how the fuck do you listen to a podcast on Audible?
I went to say audio and the wrong word come out.
Oh dear. James, this is from Java. How are you finding life working 100% on FPL?
A lot fucking easier than when I was working 100% on it and doing another job as well, to be honest. Yeah, good.
Have you guys ever revealed what you actually do?
No, it's a big secret, mate.
Well, we do know now James works on FPL. We just answered that.
Yeah, no. To be honest, absolutely really enjoying it at the moment. Loosely, it's working 9 to 5, whereas before it was working 9 till 9.
It's working 40 hours a week, just not 9 to 5.
To be honest,
a
lot of the social elements are now part of work, but I still think of them as social elements. So we've obviously scaled up the amount of podcasts we're doing to include Patreon and stuff like that as well. So it's not a case of we spend an hour and a half recording a day and that's it, go home and that pays for it. There's a lot of other stuff as well, like the editing, etc., and ideas and patrons and conversation. But yeah, to be in a world now where I'm getting paid to talk about football, I mean, how can I possibly complain?
Yeah.
I can't.
Clean sheet wipeout. Matt says, congratulations on the big 500. ManChild, you can jump in this one as well because you're in the moment of this. Before you guys clearly became great mates and even better co-hosts.
We don't even fucking like each other. And we've said that before, by the way.
Let's let the illusion keep going. What was Suj like as a boss and James like as an employee?
I think you should answer that.
What was James like as an employee?
Well, fucking whip out your one-to-one and just...
It's a little hard.
No, he's going to get his aubergine.
I tell you, and you're currently still in the throes of me giving you abuse, ManChild. So that's why I let you jump in on this.
Oh, ManChild gets hard abuse from
Why are we talking about hard all of a sudden? We're talking about aubergines.
Yes,
Let's cut this out.
God's sake, man.
James is an employee, so there was someone in the hierarchy in between us. I wasn't directly like telling James what to do on a day-to-day basis, but.
No, he was telling my boss that James needs to be released to record podcasts.
Yeah, I'm not taking James for 20 minutes extra for lunch today because we've got a longer pod. All you need to know about James as an employee is that how long were you selling bags? For a couple of years, give or take?
Just after Euro 2016.
Every Friday, James would walk into the office with a carrier bag of like Friday treats with cakes, fucking biscuits.
I'd eat fucking half of them,
yeah,
to
true,
be fair.
But he was the kind of person that would walk in every Friday without fail with Friday treats for everybody else. So there you go. That's it. I think that explains it, doesn't it?
Basically said I shit at my job, but I used to bring biscuits in.
I choose not to have opinion. You sold a lot of bags. You choose. He's a team player.
Thanks.
We have to understand this is a podcast, boys. We can't just laugh all day.
I can't, because you just go, how was James as an employee? Well, he bought him biscuits.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make a point that he's a team player that cared about everybody else as much as anything else.
Why not just say that? Why tell him, well, he bought him biscuits?
Because I'm showing by example, motherfucker.
Oh, shit. Next question, man.
I'm showing by example, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
This is why, ManChild, you don't come onto every podcast, because I'd be crying.
And Matt, thank you for your question. In answer to what was Suj like as a boss, well, ManChild just got himself a fucking P45. That's what I'm saying. Laughing at my comment. So he can't talk about what I'm like as a boss because he ain't working for me no more. Yeah, that's life for ManChild every day, every single day.
Suj is good at buying McDonald's.
To be fair, Suj has introduced us to some pretty decent takeaways just on premise of should we try this on the late night. Because FPL, before you were working on FPL full time, would happen after the main pod would have to happen after hours or at 7 a.m. before work.
That's happened a few times.
Yeah, exactly, right? Season 2 was just littered with it.
McTavius, who do you really support?
My wife.
2 ex-wives, 4 children with child benefit. That's what I really support.
The current girl.
Yeah, if only. Jack Shepherd's jumped in and said Barnet for Suj and Orient for James. Well, Barnet was the first place I had a season ticket, so I wouldn't go so far as to say I could name anyone in there.
I have a soft spot for, to be honest, all the smaller London clubs. Generally, like even before that would have included like Fulham when I first started going to football, because. I mean, like you got clubs like Arsenal, who obviously I hate, they're the main rivals, but you don't wish no ill on people like Barnet, Leyton Orient and stuff like that. You want them to have their good days in the sun, right?
Sounds like pity.
Do you know what? You can call it that a little bit, but then there's no reason to, what am I going to hate you because you're fucking smaller? Like, I don't hate Scottish people.
Fair.
I'm not saying Scottish people are smaller, by the way. It's nobody's smaller than me. I'm saying a smaller country than England, for example.
Oh dear. Let's talk about FPL Hitman. So, how would you reflect on the differences or similarities in the direction and reasoning you took when you started with Pod 1 versus the evolution to Pod 500 and the future of a Planet FPL?
We're definitely not bothered about recording a shit car crash podcast like this one. Podcast 1 was okay, let's talk insight. It wasn't statistical or anything, but it was very straight laced, I guess, in the sense that it was okay, who's a good signing, who's a bad signing. If people want to listen to that, it's worlds apart from what it is now. So it took us a long time to find what we were comfortable with. We tried stats heavy pods, we tried complete humor pods. I think we found a flow now where it's not even a discussion, just whatever happens. If we end up having a laugh, we do. If it's serious, it's serious. So we don't have a set strategy from that perspective. We kind of know that when we do the main pods, we're going to review all the games. If we got time, we're going to do Twitter questions. That's literally the only thing that's got some sort of structure to it, basically, really.
Yeah. Just Gabrielle, what has bonded you as friends before the journey? I've enjoyed getting to know you both very much since your
McDonald's
inception.
and aubergines.
Thanks for diving into this journey. There wasn't like a thought process or sitting around a pub one day and thinking, let's start an FPL podcast. It was literally turning on a mic.
He walked into me in the office and said, I want to do an FPL podcast. I said, okay, cool, great.
That was it.
And then afterwards, he went, we'll do another one next week.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how long do you want to do this for?
It was shortly after I think I'd actually joined. And then, because I remember they were remember we used to cut out all the R's, like, we literally spent 4 hours an episode.
Yeah.
Now it's just in, out, like, it is what it is.
Because we're just so good now, ManChild.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say next.
Are you two talking about the same thing?
I think we're the greatest FPL podcast that is out there, actually, ManChild. I think actually we're the greatest podcast.
I don't. I think we're probably the 17th best.
FPL podcast?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have you know we're the 11th best in the UK.
Oh, okay. That's all podcasts, yo.
I think you're talking about our ranks, mate, because they're like in the 4 millions. Dark Shadow. And I know what you're going to reply to with this, ManChild. I know it.
What is the question? What's
the craziest night out you both have had? Feel free to leave out the most incriminating things.
It's just the night of the reverse pizza, man.
Straight.
I still don't get.
Come on, man! Don't start this.
Straight in. I'm with ManChild on this.
The first thing to say is this is after Planet FPL Live 2, where we've been. I've had to.
There was one.
Was it the first one?
Yeah, definitely the first one.
Oh, was it?
Definitely the first one.
Okay, the first one. So
Wasted.
Yeah, absolutely.
10:30.
So no, actually,
not
no.
crazy late. We didn't leave the pub crazy late.
You tell the story.
I ain't saying
you both
shit.
think it's fucking hilarious.
He said leave the incriminating bits out. So I'm all incriminated.
What's the issue? Like I ate the crust first or something?
No, it's not. Bruv. It's so it makes no sense. You ate a pizza. So look, anyone listening to this, you don't even need to be on YouTube. Just close your eyes and imagine a slice of pizza. You've got it in your hand. Exactly.
You're about to eat it.
Now just.
No, but it's pointing at you.
Now, yeah, it's point. No, I don't need to tell you that. Just imagine you're holding a piece of pizza.
So hang on a minute. You're asking the listeners to close their eyes and imagine that it's pointing at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Carry on.
They're holding a slice of
There's
pizza.
no aubergine on this pizza, James. Relax.
Okay, cool.
You're holding a pizza. Now turn the piece of pizza around so the crust is facing you.
If I'm going to eat the crust first, what do you want me to do? Face the crust the other way?
But then you continue to eat it backwards, bro. Like, it was
Yeah, because I wanted to eat the crust first. What's wrong with that?
It was amazing.
I didn't realise there was a
honestly.
formal way that you had to leave the crust at the end on a pizza.
There was.
I mean, now I know, then obviously I'm still
But
continuing
it's
to
too
do it the
bad
same
you've
way.
lost any Italian followers that you had.
So let me get this right. You just told the listeners that your best night out was when James ate the pizza.
No,
the wrong way
they
round.
said leave the incriminating shit out. That shit happened that night.
I mean, the journey to get to that point was pretty long.
Yeah, like this was the FPL live ended at it ended at what, like 10 o'clock. This was well into 12:30. It was 2 hours after the bad shit had happened, and I was just sitting there, and I looked over at James, and he's eating a fucking pizza in reverse, and I just literally lost it there onwards.
FPL Toro's got a few questions here.
Hang on, I don't think they care about his faults. Have we got stories?
What? That was the craziest night out we've had, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, together?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought it was going to be like in our
In
lives.
general,
ever.
oh no, forget about it. I don't remember those.
Yeah,
Uni and all that days, man.
James
that
will be
was
like,
another
remember that
level.
time
I
ate
was
that
going to
pizza the
talk
right
about
way
the
round?
time I was in a strip club in Newcastle dressed as Buzz Lightyear, but okay, carry on. Next question.
That's your stag do.
That really happened. Oh, no, it was someone else's stag do.
Oh, okay. I was
Okay,
so
yeah,
worried.
yeah.
Oh no, it's just a random night out. So
Yeah, my stag do was a bit extreme.
yo, James party's hard.
I press
Like,
upped.
can we agree on
I
this?
press
I don't
upped an
anymore. I
18
used to.
stone lady on my stag do.
You did what? Sorry.
I press upped. I had to do a press up. On a
I heard him say
stage.
I pressed up on, and I'm like,
No,
bro,
no,
that's what I heard.
No. That's a story for another day. If we get to episode 1000, when we get to episode 1000, probably in about 3 weeks from now, we'll talk
we just
about
publish the catalogue.
the stag do story. Here we go. FPL Toro says he's got a few questions here that are quick fire or not. Real Madrid or Barcelona?
Barca.
Yeah, I'm Barca as well.
I'm Barcelona.
You are Barca, eh?
Yeah.
Because you know that goal that Bell scored? He scored it for
He
Real
scored
Madrid
it, yeah.
against Barca. You all right with that?
No, I'm Real Madrid.
Okay. Childhood dreams.
Playing for Spurs.
Really?
Yeah.
As a kid, of course.
Yeah.
You wanted to be a footballer? Because you're a decent footballer now, right?
No. I wanted to...
I don't understand if you're taking the piss or not.
I think this is what he meant earlier. By
Someone
by
earlier
joke,
has
so-
said, though,
No.
when are we going to
When
get
I
this
was,
penalty
when I was a
shootout?
child,
And go,
my
"We do
dream,
need to
my
do it."
hopes and dreams were about being a podcaster. Kids may well dream that these days. I don't suppose I did 30 years ago.
Yeah, where would you love to travel to?
Gdansk for the Europa League final, or just Tottenham.
I'm going to go to Bali, but the problem is I'm not going to go until the Planet FPL is done and dusted, because if I go to Bali, I ain't coming back.
The one that I've said this before, the one that always fascinates me is Buenos Aires, River Plate, and Boca. I'd love to do that game one day, preferably at Boca.
James, what would be your chosen topic on Mastermind? You can't pick anything football related.
There's no fucking point in me going on it then, is there?
Nah, you got to pick something.
Soccer.
God's sake, man! Like, come on.
Wrestling in the 90s.
The McDonald's menu from 1984 to 2000. In what year did they introduce the chicken legend with bacon?
Do you know what I used to be really good at when I was about 4 or 5? I used to know all the London bus routes in London. If you told me a bus route when I was like 4 or 5.
Not 4 or 5, mate. I know 4 or
Ask
5.
my mum. I asked my mum, I swear to you.
She's on Twitter.
I could
I'm
tell
going to tweet
you.
her.
100%.
Do it. Tweet her.
All the bus
I
routes
could-
in the whole of London.
Yeah, so she says.
But when you were young,
Oh, this motherfucker was going to do the knowledge and be a taxi driver by the time he was 11. He still hasn't got a driving
shit.
license. Oh, dear. I don't know what I'd pick as my topic on Mastermind.
other than football,
Yeah, if it wasn't football. American politics, I do love a bit of Trump. The Donald Trump era in politics would be one that I could do. I could do quite comfortably.
I do wonder how you fit this all in, because you watch so much football, and then whenever you're
no. Okay, yeah. Sorry,
Suj doesn't watch no football. He just shuts up and lets me talk.
3 or 4 games a week. James will watch 10. I'll watch 3 of them maybe.
Maybe just because we talk, because you watch it in style, man.
Oh yeah, I've got the big projector. Okay. FPL Shakes, aren't you guys doing each other's heads in yet?
Yes.
Nah, James is right. His ManChild's doing my head in, but he's been doing my head in for long enough.
Best.
And just a reminder, it was Stuart Oxlade who said, "How long until Heung-min's in the works, James?"
To be honest, I ain't touching her again. I don't always say, "Oh my god," I say it nearly every week on the pod, mate.
Yeah, but you should just do a challenge. Just get any listener to say anything you've said about your wife in public, and just watch the reaction. Like, I don't know how you. I think I'm just so desensitized to you just cussing out. I'm just like.
what you have to understand about my wife is she rips me apart as well. Like, it's all good. She rips me and I rip her.
You keep that kind of stuff to yourself private.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff.
I just told you there's no ripping, there's no touching, there's nothing.
FPL Dr. Pepper. Xbox X or PS5. I pass. I don't play computer games, so I'm no help to you here.
I wouldn't have a clue anymore. Genuinely, I last picked up an Xbox.
All right, fuck these two.
Probably
PS5
before Planet
day.
FPL. Wouldn't have a clue anymore.
Carlos says favorite Netflix show. Go on, ManChild. Favorite ever Netflix show?
I liked Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad was good. And ended up getting very long. It took me a long time to get into it. Like Ozark, I haven't been able to get into necessarily. It's not that good. Power was alright, but it wasn't that great. I think. Have you seen Money Heist?
I haven't, because I just hate watching stuff in other languages.
Well, just get the dub on it.
That's how I felt watching All or Nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, All or Nothing Tottenham. That's fucking got to be up there that's Amazon Prime. That's not Netflix, mate. Money Heist is pretty decent. I quite like that. James, anything? Nah. It's too busy watching football.
Exactly. Yeah. Netflix don't have any coverage of football. I don't have Netflix.
I mean, I think it's Prime that does, right?
Yeah. Billy Hadaway, favourite film of all time?
I've got Prime. I've never watched anything on it other than All or Nothing or a live football match, honestly.
Interesting. Favourite film of all time?
Usual Suspects, I'd say.
ManChild?
Oh, shit. All right, fine. I'll just be honest about it. Minions, I really like.
Yes. Yes. I think that's a brilliant shout.
Which one?
Brilliant shout.
So I love Despicable Me 2, but I'm waiting for 3 Minions 2.
Is this why... we're revealing too much here. Why you keep asking me for the Happy Meal toys?
100%.
Okay, fair play.
I got one yesterday.
Yeah, is it? I got another one on my desk as well. I got the Beefeater one. What did you get?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, ManChild.
A yellow thing.
And this is another McDonald's hack that I'm going to teach the listeners now, right?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Honestly, it's like social economics.
No. This is good.
It is good, but it's so overthought.
So when I go to McDonald's, obviously you think about an extra value meal. You get burger, chips and drink. Chips are too much and they're not good for you either anyway. And also I want a bit of chicken to go with it as well. So if I'm having a quarter pounder with cheese, I want the balance, right? So this is what you do. And you also save money. You buy a Happy Meal. It's about £2.89. 4 nuggets. Smaller fries than you would get with a medium, and you get a little bottle of water as well. It's plenty good for you. And then chuck in a double cheeseburger as well. Right now, obviously, triple cheeseburger, but that's going to go away. You end up spending £4. You get a burger and you get nuggets, and you get smaller chips, which is better for you anyway. And you get a bottle of water as well.
Because the 4 nuggets to go with a burger is so much better for you as well. That's not what I was going to thought you was going to say. I thought you was going to tell me about your other hack about the Apple things you get instead.
Oh, you can swap the chip. Oh, yeah, that's another good one.
That's a brilliant hack.
Yes. So if I ever get my kids a Happy Meal, if you tell them you can swap the chips out for a fruit bag, right?
You do that to your kids?
9 times out of 10, you get the chips as well.
In anyway.
Because they're too blindly looking at the screen thinking a Happy Meal. They'll put the chips in and chuck the fruit bag extra. 9 times out of 10, you'll get chips and a fruit bag. Trust me. Try it, listeners. Go to a drive-thru. Ask for a Happy Meal. Say swap the chips for a fruit bag. I bet you 9 times out of 10, the chips still turn up in there.
ManChild's amazed.
I actually am. That's such a. I want to know how we measure that. Like, if we can get everyone in the FPL community to do it.
Do you know what I need to do? I need to write a book, mate, because there's so much stuff in my head that needs to be out there for the rest of the world.
Suj and hacks.
Hacks. Who would win in an arm wrestle? Says the Fantasy Plonker podcast. I haven't got the weight.
I want to say Suj.
Yeah, I think.
I've trained.
Wait. What the fuck did you just say to me?
I haven't got the weight.
I don't know. I think it would still be you.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
I go to the gym. You box. You don't go to the gym, do you? So
I'm too busy eating my Happy Meals, aren't I?
my personal trainer's he was Git today. There's first world problems in this. Move on from them. Get back to a Happy Meal.
Oh, my personal trainer.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
It's
Delete. Okay, let's look. Quite a lot of people asking about how we met. I feel like we told this story so many times.
Tell them anyway.
Who made the first move?
Suj did.
Well, we met at work.
Yeah.
Job done. Simple as that.
It's genuine. There's no frills to it. I parked my interview with Suj. We didn't even speak about work. We spoke about football for about 15 minutes.
I say, you're a nice enough person.
I won the work FPL mini league. Suj said, "Do you want to do a podcast?" The rest is history. That is literally it.
FPL Stefan Barnes, have you or do you ever play competitive football? And if you were to take each other on as captains of a five-a-side team, who in the community would be in your teams? Here we go. Right. Okay. First up, I don't play competitive football. I only played casually Sunday League. Not Sunday League.
We've
so
seen your
nothing
Morris
in a league.
stance and kick-ups.
Yeah, don't worry. Wait till the penalty shootout comes, mate, because you're going down. So I don't play competitive football, but just, 10 mates.
I would have FPL Sexy in goal.
But I don't know if his profile picture is actually him. Right, first up. Okay,
It's not. It's not, by the way.
You got a coin?
I know it's not.
Do I have a coin? I don't think so.
Yeah, we need to toss a coin on who gets to pick first, James.
Wait, are we not allowed to pick the same people?
Nobody carries coins with them anymore,
That's
man.
the problem, isn't it?
Because nobody uses cash anymore.
Okay.
We'll flip this cannon thing
rock,
onto
paper,
the floor.
scissors, right?
Why are you making wanker signs at me?
Oh my god!
Rock,
I'm
paper,
not even going
scissors.
to go there.
Rock,
Ready?
paper, scissors.
1, 2.
Wait, am I in on this or am I not in on this?
No, you're not in it.
1,
Fuck you.
2.
Yeah, baby. I win first. So I get to pick first. You got to pick a five-a-side team. I'm going straight in. The 6'10" legend Tom Campbell. You're in my team. Firstly, because he supports West Ham.
But where's he
Secondly,
playing?
I don't care. He can play where he likes. Secondly, because he kicked the ball so hard it went into his neighbour's garden. No, that was his wife threw it into the garden, didn't she?
Oh my god! Didn't he get 35,000 likes or something?
He's so
ridiculous.
tall, and he supports West Ham. I'm having Tom Campbell. He's in. Who you having?
Handsome fuck as well. I'll be distracted.
having?
Much love, Tom.
Who you having?
I will have Lee from FPL Family.
I think he'd be pretty good.
I need a good
I think
goalkeeper.
he'd be pretty good.
I need a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, okay. I'm having Marco from Dive because every team needs someone that's going to get in the ear of the opposition and just wind them up. So Marco's in. He's going to be in there chatting in Lee's ear, telling him stuff about, I don't know, Liverpool.
I'll have Jake so he can fucking kick Marco up.
So I've got 2. I'm in the team as well. I need to pick 2 more. I'm going to go to WGTA. Which of those? I'm going to go with Stag. Anthony.
I was going to say that as well.
And do you know why? It's the dulcet tones.
There's
something about his accent that's just attractive. And I reckon, so because of his wonderful Irish accent, drawl, we'll have girls. So we'll have cheerleaders on the side because they'll be like, oh, Anthony's accent's so sexy. So I'm having him.
Wait, is the question FPL listeners or FPL other hosts?
People from the community.
Whatever.
Right. People from the community.
I'll take Mark. I'll take the general.
I was going to say.
You're going to have a general.
Yeah.
Okay. FPL community is anybody that's involved in any content related to FPL. Right, Chris Sutton I'm having up front because BBC 5 Live do a FPL podcast, so I'm having Chris Sutton.
Fuck you. I'll have the FPL know-it-all then. I'm taking Michael Richards.
Oh, okay. But I don't know if he's on the podcast, is he? He chats and tweets about it.
Listen, put it this way. If we was going to get one of them on a podcast tomorrow, who would you ask? Michael Richards.
Michael Richards,
definitely.
for sure. Yeah. Chris Sutton's he's
awful.
Always on a wind-up, is that guy. Always on a wind-up. I think that's my 5 against your 5.
Wait, so what's your 5?
Bring it on. There's me, Tom Campbell, Marco, Stag, and Chris Sutton.
And your
Chris
5?
Sutton's up top scoring goals.
Remember.
And if you are a content creator that didn't make it, well, I'm afraid, apologies, but you can be on the bench or something.
I wonder who would win out of those 2 teams.
Me, because Suj is on the other one.
Nah, no chance. No chance.
The other team's only got 4 players.
You never did that shootout,
Yeah,
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We just need to get a nice day and a 3-camera setup and stuff.
In 2022.
Indeed, we are. Right. I'm just rattling through the questions here, James. I think we've been through all of them. Everybody else just wants to know how we met.
Okay.
A lot of people keep asking us to say the one thing we like about each other, and I don't want to do that, mate, because that's not that kind of pod. We're just not that soppy.
I think you already said it, didn't you? I'll bring in biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that was the answer to what makes.
It's the worst put down I've ever had.
Imagine you had to find
put down.
Imagine you had to find another
down,
job.
I'd say something about you being a Tottenham waste
James,
of
you're
space
like,
or something.
oh yeah, call Suj. He'll give you a great reference, and your next boss calls up. Fucking Suj. Yeah, he's got biscuits.
Yeah, trust me, bruv. He'll fatten you up on a Friday.
Oh dear. Yeah, I can see it now. Going for an interview at Sky Sports or something to replace Jeff Stelling. You've just got to get the reference for you. Well, guys, Merce, all them. He brings in good biscuits, you know. Yeah, that'll be the end of it, wouldn't it?
There we go. 500 episodes, mate.
Congratulations.
500 episodes to you as well. I think it still feels so early in the journey. I still feel like we haven't even opened up to what Planet FPL could be.
I actually think we didn't open up to what Planet FPL was until halfway through season 1, maybe season 2.
Yeah, halfway through season 1 and season 2. Look, the community's grown in line with us growing, like especially the Sky Fantasy Football stuff as well, and now the army of Patreons that we have. I have to say that I think our production quality, obviously the audio is good, I'd have to say, but our video stuff is going to get better. We're going to do even more with that, and make more use of YouTube and what have you. But I think it's one of those where the quality of that stuff doesn't matter if what you say is good enough. The quality of content will come through, and that's something that we always say to people who want to start a pod or whatever. If what you have to say is good enough and important enough, the rest doesn't matter. What mics you have doesn't matter, and you got to have the stamina to stick with it. I'm looking forward to the next 500, really.
Yeah.
There's zero doubt that we'll make 1,000.
Oh yeah. I just think the challenge now in the next 6-12 months is going to be obviously navigating this COVID-related season. I just think people's attitudes towards FPL and football in general are going to be.
Do you know what? That was
really
something else we
difficult.
didn't really speak about, which I actually secretly quite proud of as well. Though, when everything went into shutdown, we just got relentless about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was good. The fact that we put out stuff, nostalgic stuff, quizzes and stuff, just kept things moving and ticking over. So there's a lot of people that the favourite comments to reflect on are always the ones that people feel like we've helped them.
Yeah,
and not even like with the FPL, but just helping
an
them.
escape.
There's a lot of people have messaged me recently and said, like, listening to you guys is becoming like a bit of a routine at the moment, which you could argue, all right, I feel sorry for you a bit. But a lot of people at the moment feel like they need normality and a bit of familiarity in their lives at the moment. And to hear people say that we're offering that to them is probably the most humble thing of all. To like,
we've got to finish with one thing first. We know ManChild's goalkeepers and we know your defence. Tell us your midfield.
Oh yeah, what's your midfield?
We should know your FPL team, man.
He's gonna have to log in again.
We know you've got Abraham and Jesus Christ.
Abraham
up
is
front.
up front.
Yeah, I'm saying we know who your strikers are, and Abraham and Jesus.
So
who's the other striker?
Adams.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Where's Eve?
See, he's getting it.
Tell us.
Tell us your
midfield.
So the least interesting one I have is Aubameyang. I picked Aubameyang because he was expensive and I had loads of money left. I didn't know that you weren't meant to be left with change at the end. I learned that this season.
It's not like they wire it to you into your bank account.
No, I know, but I thought like there was a strategy on holding more money or just like,
there probably is
being a bit stingy, but
okay, there's only you that adopts that strategy. But yeah, there probably is. Tell us.
So I've got Westwood, obviously DJ Westwood in the house, and then I've got Grot, Mane, and Aubameyang. Now the theory, I didn't get
Grot.
Let him go. Come on.
Well, I wanted to find a player who just had a name that was like goals or. I'm definitely going to get success in because it's then Westwood, Grot, many.
You ain't because he's gone.
He's not in the league anymore.
Isaac Success, he's not.
This is heartbreaking.
Okay.
Sorry.
Grot, Mane, Aubameyang.
Because there's a sentence.
Mane, Aubameyang is not a bad midfield. Go on then. What's the sentence?
Westwood, Grot, many. And I'm waiting for the opportunity on what he's got many of.
I thought you were trying to say Westwood got money.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Westwood Grot money.
Yeah. That might be it. White House cash low. Westwood Grot money.
Westwood Grot money. Aubameyang.
Hey! That's it, wrapped.
That is it. Listeners, thank you so much for being part of this journey to 500 podcasts. We really appreciate it. Genuinely, when I said at the start of the show that I was reading through your comments and memories and stuff, it is emotional to think, wow, we've done some fun stuff, and it really did bring a smile to my face. So thank you for being part of that as we continue the journey onwards. Again, if you want more additional podcasts and what have you, you know where to find us on Patreon and all that jazz, but it's not important right now. Keep yourselves happy. Stay safe as COVID's on the rise.
It's not
Most
important.
importantly,
It's not important now because the first of the month's not till next Thursday.
Yeah. Wait till next week. That's a good bit of advice. We don't want you spending your money in advance of that. You'll only get charged again. But most importantly, it is on the rise. Everybody needs to be staying safe right now. Keep washing your hands. Look after each other. Peace out.
Thank you very much, everybody. Cue music, please. ManChild.
Whoop, whoop.
The Fantasy Football Show.